about, I would say, 15 minutes early today, or 14 minutes early. And I kind of just wanted to talk about something, right? Just get it off my chest. This isn't anything that was pre-planned. I was kind of inspired to do this, right? Because I actually saw Big Boy interview Black Sam, which is Nipsey Hussle's brother. I saw that interview earlier today, and it was an emotional interview, and I could sympathize with Black Sam because I could understand, how he feels having lost his best friend and brother, Nipsey Hussle. Now, Nipsey Hussle didn't necessarily pass away, in a rap battle, right? It wasn't necessarily a rap battle, but it was the success that came with him being an artist. It was the success that came with him being such a huge figure, not just in rap, but in the community. And people aren't always going to like that. And when you are in fraternities or factions or gangs, whatever it is, and you have a bunch of not so positive energy around you, things can go left quickly, right? Because everybody doesn't have your best interest. Everybody doesn't necessarily want to see you shine. And it's rather sad, to be completely honest with you. Now, if you guys don't know, I was always a big Nipsey Hussle fan. Not just as a rapper, but the person behind the raps, right? You watch his interviews, right? You get to see how astute, how wise he was, how much of a businessman he was, how he just wanted to help people and inspire people, right? And of course, he also had another side to him. I mean, we all do, right? It's not something where everybody's one-dimensional. And he would always just express himself in a way that I could relate to. Because growing up, I was aggressive is an understatement. So I get it. I'm R says, hello, sir. How you doing, I'm R? Big up yourself. But I could completely understand what Black Sam, I get why he was so emotional in that interview, right? Because he lost his brother in a senseless, I want to say killing, but it was, I don't want to necessarily use those words, an unaliving. Let's use that term, right? And we can go further, right? We can say, the term maybe assassination should probably be used. But what Black Sam was saying, that it was some political things that was involved in it, right? Compton Barnes says, hello. How you doing, Compton Barnes? Watching your life Trump 2024 or GTA 6. All right, we're not going to get into that too much. Hello, can we be friends? Big up yourself. We're all friends here. We're all bigger than just friends, right? We're all one. But yeah, that Nipsey Hussle death actually was something that really impacted me, right? I felt as if I lost a brother, right? And I never met the man, but I was a big fan. Listened to his music on a daily basis. Someone who, one of my friends at the time who knew I was a huge Nipsey Hussle fan was the one that broke the news to me, because I remember I was scrolling through Instagram before he broke the news to me, and I kept seeing pictures of Nipsey. But I wasn't clicking any of the pictures or anything like that. I just kept seeing different pictures of him. I was just, sometimes you just idly just scroll through Instagram and you see things. And I kept on seeing pictures of Nipsey, and I was like, oh man, I didn't really hear about an album or anything new happening, but he must be doing some big things, as you would expect. But then homie hit me with, such and such happened to Nipsey. And I thought it was a joke because I remember it was around the April Fool's Day, so I kind of thought it was one of those things where it was like, ha, because I'm a big Nipsey supporter, so you might feel as if this would be a good way for you to get a joke off. Come to find out, it wasn't a joke at all. And pardon me. I remember being stuck after I heard it. I remember being stuck, unable to really digest what it is that just took place, because my expectations, I expected so much more from Nipsey Hussle. I expected big things from Nipsey Hussle, and he did do big things, and he did big things since he passed on, right? Because that's the magnitude of this guy's personality. That's the magnitude of his aura, of his energy. But yeah, you just expected so much more, right? Because the limit was beyond the sky, and it doesn't have to be one of those things where he's the most popular artist, right? That's secondary. It's the messages in his music. Not to say everything was always positive, but whenever it was positive, it was definitely something that would inspire you. It was definitely something that would galvanize you and just elevate you. Hello, Asia. How you doing, Asia? Asia's here. Man. But yeah, I was always inspired by what Nipsey Hussle was doing, and inspired with him as a person, And then, a store that he opened, right? The Marathon store over there in Crenshaw. I say over there in Crenshaw like I'm not all the way on the East Coast, right? But over there on Crenshaw, the Marathon store that he opened with his brother Black Sam and his business partners and their business partners. He ended up losing his life in front of his own establishment, right? And initially, you didn't know what it was, right? But he was around certain people that were kind of unscrupulous, I guess you could say, because of the lifestyle, right? That a lot of times we're not always able to kind of separate the lifestyle from the art, right? Because here you have a young man who's really trying to do the right things. He's really trying to help and inspire his community. But then his life is cut short by, you want to say, jealousy, maybe a power struggle, ego, whatever it was, sensitivity, right? Because it was senseless. I'm going to be completely honest with you, it was senseless. For someone who was such a stable in the neighborhood, not only in the neighborhood, but in the world, and for them to cut his life so short so soon. And after he passed on, a lot of people who didn't know about him in the initial stages, now they're starting to figure out who is this Nipsey Hussle, right? But while he was alive, he was telling you, hey, man, this is that dude right here, right? And now, I'm from a different generation than these younger guys, right? I'm not quite my mid-30s yet, but I'll be in my mid-30s in a few years, right? But I'm not quite there yet. But I'm so far removed from the culture, and I started realizing this in my 20s, right? That the culture was kind of shifting, right? Like it's like a completely different era, right? And I don't really know what to attribute it to, but I just know the sound was just different. I know there wasn't much emphasis on lyricism, on skills, right? I remember back in the day, right? And this is we're segueing into something completely different now, right? Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. I will say that before we segue, right? But I remember back in the day when you used to have like rap battles, right? Whatever it was, whether it be a rap battle where people are standing in front of each other, because even in high school we did that, right? Like we would stand in front of each other, write our lyrics at home, come to school the next day and be excited to just rap. You understand what I'm saying? In front of one another. Regardless of whatever it was, you're going to say certain things that may hurt somebody's feelings in the moment, right? But if you got skills, it's like, whoa, all right, cool, man, you got me, right? And I never seen it escalate into violence. And I'm not going to say when I was growing up, kids weren't violent, because they were, right? Because we were. Now, certain kids were more violent than others. I'm not going to say I was the most violent, but yeah, when it came down to it, like, I was always ready to square up. I'm not going to lie to you. But when you fast forward into this new generation, right? When you fast forward into this new generation, what do you see happening? Well, I see the talent level. I'm not going to say these kids aren't high vibrational. I wouldn't use the term high vibrational for that. But let's say high energy, right? They have a lot of energy, right? They're bouncing off the walls. They're rapping. They're doing their dance moves. And they're singing to their ops. And they're singing their dead ops, quote unquote, names in the songs, right? A lot of times these are actual crimes that these kids are involved in. Sometimes they're not, but they're involved in some of these crimes. Completely disregarding the family of the people that were slain, right? So that guy that you just, or maybe you didn't do it, but that guy that passed away, the family still has to deal with the trauma, right? Whether or not you care about it, that person's no longer here anymore, right? Physically, we could get into the fact that energy can't be created or destroyed and how they still are going to be here, but physically they're not here anymore. So now, what exactly is the root of your problem now? Because they're not here anymore. Now you want to torment the family, right? Now you're here disrespecting them, going to their graves. And it's a new thing where they're peeing on graves. Who does that? You understand what I'm saying? And it's like you're not able to separate the street from the art. I'm going to ask you guys a question, right? Before I get into some of these comments, because I am going to read some of these comments and get back to what it is we're saying. But I'm going to ask you guys a question. Let's say, all right, cool, fine. Hip hop is a sport, right? Rap is a sport. It's a sport. It's a sport. Cool? Because it's a sport, people that, when you do sports, you compete. And sometimes it gets intense. Sometimes you might get in somebody's face. There might be a shoving match, whatever it is, right? But you get back to the fact that it's a sport. I might not like that guy. You understand what I'm saying? But you're not going to, you don't see the Lakers and the Boston Celtics shooting at each other, do you? You don't see when you're in the NBA Finals, and let's say it's LeBron versus Steph Curry, right? They still have mutual respect for one another. You've seen them in the Olympics if you haven't, but still, I'm sure you've heard about what they've done in the Olympics together, right? So even though they go to battle with one another as sportsmen, they still have a level of mutual respect for one another. And that's missing from the art. I don't see it in the art anymore. Right? And these kids think that what they doing is some gangsta-ish. But you're really being crash dummies. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Right? And then the cycle continues. It perpetuates itself, right? The cycle of, ending up in these people's prison system. Right? Ending up in the graveyard. Mothers crying. And just this low vibrational frequency, right? And the whole world is looking, egging you on. And this is the only way you feel like you're going to get attention. The only way you feel like you're going to get attention. And it's the sad part about this is some of these young men, have passed on without having a name while they were alive. And when they passed on, that's when everybody started seeing who they were. And then you hear in the news, oh, this rapper died. Who? You didn't know him, but now you go searching on his Instagram. Now their followers go up. Now people their music starts getting played. But while they were alive, nobody was paying attention to them, right? And my hope is that in the future, it'll get back to art, right? But let me get back into some of these questions before I carry on and do a little bit more. Let's get back to where we were. Compton Barnes says, what's your name? Big up, Compton Barnes. Oneje Harris. Who are we talking about? We're talking about rap in general, right? He says, can we see your house? You can see the podcast. You're being creepy. You're being kind of creepy. Odd Tube says his music made a bridge from the ignorant hoodlums to the educated businessman, creating a way out for what would otherwise be crabs in a bucket. Oh my God, very articulately said, sir. Well put, well put. And he's talking about Nipsey Hussle, by the way, right? So, look, a lot of times you'll have some very brilliant minds in the hood. Right? Some of these neighborhoods have some very brilliant geniuses, nothing short of genius, right? But don't have the opportunity sometimes to express that genius, to express those talents, right? And then you have some people that are able to break through and get over to the other side, right? That may or may not be as smart. But then they start to open ways and open avenues. They start to inspire people. Imagine a young kid going to Nipsey Hussle's store, seeing Nipsey transition from being a guy that was on the block to now owning that store, to now being in all these magazines, and then coming back to that block and giving back, right? And then what happens? They take his life. They take his life. And you want to talk about crabs in a bucket? Crabs in a bucket have never, ever, ever been so cruel. I think they give crabs in a bucket a bad name, right? What's the crab going to do? Pull you back down in the bucket, right? That's terrible. But the crab's not going to pull you back down in the bucket and kill you. You understand what I'm saying? Or unalive you, right? For the algorithm, we can't just be saying that word too much, right? But yeah, it's really unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Mr. Hunter says, "What's up?" Somebody says, "Save Hindu Bangladesh, save Hindu Bangladesh." All right, big up Bangladesh. Asia says, "Hello, Hunter. Welcome. Hello, everyone. If you're just now joining and you're enjoying this content, please subscribe." Man, she's so excellent. She's such an excellent co-host. John Michael Richards says, "Hi. Art of Mind, I don't know, 559 says, energy times mass equals gravity." Thank you for sharing, sir. Somebody came in and said MAGA. Okay. Enlightenment is the highest state of consciousness. Excellent. Thank you for sharing. Someone says, "Daddy is home." All right, cool. We're gonna. What's up, Vine Swinger? Okay, all right, cool. You guys are tweaking. God gave me a hand. All right, okay, all right. Not much of not much. Too much substance in these comments tonight. We had one guy that really contributed, and I really appreciate what it is that he said, because he's absolutely right about Nipsey bridging the gap between the hoodlums and the crabs in the buckets and the businessmen, right? And that's what it's about. It's about elevating yourself in the art, right? Like, let's say we're battle rap, right? And you guys are battling, but maybe you're not battling face to face, but you're battling over the airwaves. You're battling on wax, right? Or some would say banging on wax, right? Someone says, "I caught COVID from a fart once." All right. All right, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. But yeah, so you're battling. Now people are battling on record, right? So they don't necessarily see each other, right? And this is not brand new, but yeah, it's different from in the original stages where you grab your mic, or if you don't have a mic, you guys stand in a circle and you rap in front of one another, right? Now it's on record, right? And guys are coming on record and they're hashing it out, or they're not hashing it out, they're squabbling on record, right? These are all vocals. People are just saying things. But now people are crossing the line to the point where they're involving other people's children. It gets ugly when you start involving people's children and people's family members, right? A yo mama joke was bad enough, right? Saying something about somebody's mama was bad enough, but that was already something that was, so embedded in the culture from back in the slavery days, right? Whereas if they weren't really talking about the mothers, they were actually talking about the owners of slaves, right? When they were saying "yo mama," right? So that sort of transitioned in the culture. And some people who weren't able to take it, because you get it, that's your mother, that's the person who birthed you into this earth, the one that cared for you, most likely in most cases. And some people's mothers may not be here, or may be going through certain things, and then it gets a little sensitive, right? But then people start bringing people's kids and their wives and their girlfriends and all of that other sort of stuff, right? And it's no longer art anymore. Because once it starts getting out into that avenue, things can start getting really serious, right? Because maybe in your mind, you're not able to register the separation between art in this time and the people that you love and care about and will protect with everything that you have, right? I see it so often, right? I see it so often. And it's this new way of doing things. The first time I really heard it, right? I'm not going to say it wasn't there before, right? But it was when 50 Cent and Ja Rule was going at it. And Ja Rule said, and 50 Cent said something about Ja Rule's kid, right? And then when that happened, it's really started shifting the dynamic now, right? Now it became something where people were trying to imitate who 50 Cent was, right? So they were trying to be as aggressive as 50 Cent. So then it became something that just kept happening over and over and over, right? Because he kind of just broke the barrier of things you don't really say. I'm not going to say it didn't happen before, but I didn't hear it. That's an ambulance that just went by the way. But I just didn't hear it. Right? Now, the culture has gotten to the point where if somebody says something about your kid, that's not as bad as them talking about somebody's dead relatives and your dead friends. And that, you understand what I'm saying? And the wickedness behind that, I just got to call it what it is. Like, that's wicked. What exactly are we doing here? When did it come to that point where it's okay for you to do that? Is it because there's not enough strong male influences? Is it because these boys are growing up without a man in their lives? Because the culture is broken. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The culture is absolutely broken. This ain't the same like it was before, right? You can't have a rap battle that's just about skill, where you're talking about your opponent and you're disrespecting your opponent, and it doesn't have to get ugly, or it doesn't have to get, you understand what I'm saying? You might talk about him and his clique and the people that he hang with or whatever it is, but you're not disrespecting the dead. You're not disrespecting the people that passed on. That never comes with good karma. It never ever comes with good karma. Never does. And what does it do? It perpetuates the cycle, right? So now because you're doing it, it makes it okay for them to do it. Not many people are going to take that lightly, right? And now what happens is it kind of amps up the rage that they already have, right? So now it gets easier for whenever you guys see one another, it starts turning into something that it didn't have to be in the first place. And a lot of times, right? A lot of times this happens. People want to be down with a certain group of people. They want to be down with them. So they decide that they're going to hang out with them. And in order to hang out with them, you got to, you know how it is. You know how initiations go, right? And if you're not initiated, what are you going to do? Now you're going to talk about smoking on whoever dead ops that they have. Now you're going to be talking about smoking on their dead ops and all of that sort of stuff, right? So that you could be cool with them. A lot of times, some of these kids that are getting into beefs with other people, they don't even know how the beef started. It could have been the dumbest thing in the world, the most egotistical, dumbest thing in the. He looked at me wrong. He stepped on my sneakers. Right? He said something to me in a way that I didn't like. And then boom, that already combustible element, right? And again, that's what it comes down to vibration and frequency. Right? When you're already at a low vibration, when you already have so much toxic things in your head, right? When it's already so much happening up here. And then you open your eyes and you could see nothing but that toxicity, right? And then you see somebody and they reflect that toxicity. Then you guys start having this spiritual tango with one another. Then you start having this spiritual tango that turns into full-blown beef. Now the guys from over there can't come over here no more. Now the kids can't play in the park no more. Now your mama can't go to church no more. You get what I'm saying? Right? But this is what men think. They think this is being a man. They think this is what makes you tough. They think this is what makes you masculine. It's not. It's not. I'm more stand up with the man that's defending himself and defending his family and will do anything to make sure that his family is okay and will die for his kids and will die for his family and will stand up and protect them. I don't respect none of that other stuff y'all doing. I do not respect it. I don't think it's tough. I don't think there's anything cool about it. I don't. Call me whatever you want. I don't respect it. But in this world that these guys created, they kind of created this culture where this is the pinnacle of the culture. Right? And then we get to the point where now we're snitching on ourselves. Right? Now they're snitching on themselves. Right? They do something. And this isn't, look, I'm not going to sit up here and act like everybody's doing this. Right? But this is, I just see this so often, and I see this being almost being the new thing that people are doing. Right? They're doing crimes now, right? They're doing these crimes and they're videotaping these crimes. And then they saying, oh, you snitched on them. Right? Or they're doing these crimes and then they're coming on Twitter and talking to Twitter. What is it? X now, right? I don't even have, do I have, yeah, I might have an account, but I never really use it, to be honest with you. But big up X or Twitter. And they're coming online and they're typing it out. You understand what I'm saying? They're telling you what it is that happened. And they're giving you a rundown. Brilliant, right? Remarkable. Doesn't really make any sense. And I don't know when things shifted. Right? But okay, fine. If you want to erase yourself after you do that, you know what I mean? And I'm not talking about anything unaliving, right? But if you want to go ahead and do that, and then them people come up and snatch you up, that's on you. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when kids are young kids are growing up and they're seeing these things and they're thinking to themselves, maybe this is what I have to do to be successful, right? Maybe they're looking up to you. And this is what it is this is your legacy. This is what it is that you're showing them. And this isn't a matter of me looking back or looking down on them. Right? Because they're human beings. They're men. You understand what I'm saying? And I remember maybe when I was a teenager, it was people that was looking down on the things that we were doing. I get it. But we wasn't doing this. Not this. We were not doing this. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I don't know. I certainly, whatever it is that I could do to, as an individual, as a man, to help to shape the culture for the youth so that the future is better than the past. Like, I want to see the next generation be better than the previous generation. I want to see the next generation breaking down barriers. And I do see some good kids out there doing some really big things. Right? But then the extreme on the other side, it's just It's just too extreme on the other side. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't think these should be the type of people that's leading the culture. In no way, shape, or form should they be leading the culture. Because they're leading the culture straight to wherever the hell they're going. If you know what I mean. Let me see some more of these questions and these comments. He says, you look suspicious. Maybe I am. Who knows? He says, are you high? I am not high. But who knows? Hashim Karim says, for real. He says, let's not fight. Just be calm and be chill, I guess. I agree with you, man. Ain't no point in fighting. Don't you want to live and enjoy life? Go on vacation, right? Kick your feet up, relax. Take your girl out, right? Be kind to the people around you. Have them be kind to you back. I want to be around people like that. I want to be around people that's enjoying life and doing big things and moving the world forward. Because we really are all in this together, right? So me coming out here talking about this situation or whatever, this is me in hopes of me maybe doing my part in shaping the youth, right? Because I want to see the youth. I want to see them do better than us, man. Honestly, I do. In all honesty. Question is, what are we going to do about it? We know it's horrible out here, but what are we going to do? I'm open to suggestions, right? I am open to suggestions. But maybe one of the things that we could do is stop paying so much attention to them. Stop giving it so much light, right? Stop paying so much attention to them when they're doing these idiotic things, right? We're giving them light, we're sharing them, we're sharing their photos, we're sharing the things that they're doing, and then they step back and they go, yes. Because guess what? Clout is the new currency, right? They rather be all clouded up or famous, hood famous, right? Then to do something, then establish something for their family, then to establish a business, start an LLC, do something, right? It's about clout. Nah, I ain't doing that, man. That ain't no clout. That's for squares. Come on, bro. Y'all gotta adapt, man. They got these cameras everywhere, right? Everywhere. Which brings me to this, right? So, I didn't really follow Julio Fulio too much, right? Julio Fulio is an individual that I definitely have heard of him, right? You can't really miss him because of the wicks that he has, right? And, I did see this one thing where he was in the graveyard dissing his dead ops and calling out their names and all of that sort of stuff, right? And he was into it with other people as well that were still alive, right? And it came to my attention that there was another rapper that he was beefing with, and, he allegedly played some sort of part in that rapper's brother dying or whatever it is, right? But you fast forward to this year. What was it? 2 months ago? A month ago? Recently, right? It wasn't that long ago. And he ended up passing on. He ended up passing away. And do you know that there was a Tesla camera, right? Evidently in Sentry mode or something of the sort, that was able to capture everything in 4K. Or if not everything, a lot of it, right? And played a pivotal role in these individuals getting caught. Think about that. A Tesla camera from a car, right? So these cameras are everywhere, right? But that's not stopping you. And then when you get caught, you get upset and you say this person's snitching, that person's snitching, right? But these people that have allegedly done it, I don't know if they did or not. I don't have any proof. I don't follow it too much, right? This is all stuff that I just see in spurts, right? but allegedly he got set up by a woman, or she was dropping locations of him wherever they went, right? But he kind of wasn't necessarily moving too militant when that happened. But at the end of the day, the point that I'm trying to make is, it was a car camera that caught him. The people that did it. A car camera. What are we gonna do about it? Brainstorming. But yeah, like I said, stop paying so much attention to them. Order of Mindness says, I'm 22,639 days old. I absolutely understand you, young brother. I don't even know how old that is, to be honest with you. Ah, man. But big up yourself, man, for being alive for 22,000 days. Almost 23,000 days. So you've seen a lot of revolutions around the sun and around the moon. Both, I guess. He says, why they do that, bro? I don't know. Where's the food and liquor? Number one, I don't drink. Number two, you won't like what I eat. He says, what food do you want? Ibrahim Agiapong says, hello Ibrahim, how you doing? Where you from? Somebody said my mic's trash. Is my mic really trash? Hold on. I actually like my mic. I love my mic. I absolutely love this mic. I've always been buying blue microphones. I've had several blue microphones in my life, and they have never, ever let me down. So big up to Blue Microphone. Big up to this microphone that I have currently. Yeah, I love it. Chickens and gravy, all the trimmings. I don't eat chicken. I'm sorry. I haven't eaten chicken in years. Wakum salam. Big up yourself. I understand what you're saying. Trust me, I do, says James McDaniel. Thank you so much, James. Big up yourself. Okay, chicken and gravy, always good. Okay, they're talking to each other. All right, I get it. Hello. Hey, bro, morning, Sunil. It's the guy. Sunil's the guy that's always calling me Mark Henry, by the way. I still don't see it, but whatever. At 22,639 days old, there's only so much we can control. I think the thing is that we could only really control ourselves and what we do. I think we could only really lead by example, right? We can't control other people, right? I'm not in the game or the business of controlling other people, right? But when you control yourself, you're able to inspire other people, right? When you live by what you say you live by, and you lead by example, not necessarily that you're leading people, but if people kind of look over and they see that, oh, I like that inspires me. You understand what I'm saying? So the only thing you really could do in this world is be yourself, right? Look at the man in the mirror. Ask him to change his ways, like Michael Jackson said, right? But yeah, ultimately, you're only in control of yourself. You're not in control of other people, but you can inspire people by inspiring yourself and being inspirational, right? That's it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. He says, yeah, brother, exactly. Big up yourself. Everybody that's saying exactly and bigging me up right now, y'all need to subscribe to the channel and like the video, right? 9 people in here, 9 likes. Oh, cool. I think we might have peaked at like 16 or 17, which was really, really dope. We're a growing channel. James McDaniel says, I 100% agree. Facts, bro. Yeah. Asia says, yes, absolutely. If only bro would look at my comments to see what he's not seeing. What is it that I'm not seeing? Peace and love will always prosper too much negativity these days, bro. Is it only these days, though? Right? Because things, we can't sit up here in front, right? We get exposed to way too much information these days. We see a lot of things these days, right? We see a whole lot of things these days. Back in the days, people were still doing a whole lot of devious things, behind closed doors, right? These days, it's kind of hard. It's much harder for you to do devious things behind closed doors, right? Because everybody's pretty much watching, right? So it just pays for you to really just be yourself. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's because of the times we're in. I think ultimately things will be better. I think ultimately we aren't going to, you know, certain people are going to destroy themselves. Let's just put it that way and keep it moving. Exactly. I agree. Peace and love 100%. Ibrahim Yapong says, yeah. Sheesh. That's too far. James McDaniel said, well, it's not necessarily always all about that for me. It's about what comes from my heart. And I love my family. And I just want peace and love in this world 100%. But I also understand. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. But I'm not doing no clout because I never wanted to be famous. And I hate being famous. I'm not saying that I am famous, but what I'm trying to say is I agree. And just say you agree, James. I agree with you. Thank you so much, James. Thank you so much. But I like to be challenged as well. If you guys don't agree with what it is that I'm saying at any point, you guys feel free to just disagree if you don't really agree, right? But don't force yourself to agree or force yourself not to agree. You know what I mean? Just be genuine with what it is that what you think, you know? He says, I understand where you're coming from. I understand what you're saying. Thank you so much, James. Joe wears a drool bib says Elon Musk is dope. Yes, Joe. I guess. I don't know the guy personally, but maybe. Subscribe to the channel. Somebody says, what is a shooting? This person may not be in America, but I'm going to try to describe it. So when people take a weapon, right, that shoots bullets out of it, that's considered a shooting, right? When somebody's, right? And if they are aiming it at someone, right, and shooting in their direction or firing in their direction, that's what's considered a shooting. Tim Waltz went to the hospital and got his stomach pumped from chugging horse. Okay. Yeah, that's not funny. So we're going to get rid of you. Yeah, we don't need that. James McDaniel said I was born in 1997. 1997, what's that? That makes you what, 27? 27 this year or something like that? Big up yourself whenever you do turn 27. Big up yourself, young man. GTVR76 says, Hi, just got here. Big up yourself, bro. We've been having a great conversation so far, talking about the culture and how the things that these rappers are doing is impacting the culture. You big up yourself, though. I do see you here a lot, and I appreciate the support, man. I really do appreciate the support. Okay, all right. Inspiration, you so correct. Thank you so much. Somebody says, let's go Trump. Wow, Trump is getting a lot of support. And they say Trump. And it's nothing but big facts. Exactly, 100%. Banana Man, see you later. You can go spell that in timeout, mister. I hate having to time out grown people. Bro, if you're going to troll, make sure it's funny. Think about it first. Think about the joke first before you say it, right? And then say it, right? Type it. And then when I read it, make sure it's funny. You know what I mean? If it's funny, you get to stay, right? If it's not funny, go enjoy some other content. Other channels are available, guys. You're not forced to be here. You know what I mean? But big up yourself. Hasim Karim says, end times for sure, bro. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I've been hearing... End times of what? Because everyone has to go through like a physical death, right? or physical unalive. I don't know why I keep saying these things. Everyone has to go through that, right? But at the end of the day, the world's gonna keep turning. And energy can't be created nor destroyed. So I don't think that it's the end times, to be completely honest with you. What even if the world goes, it's not the end times. I'm one step ahead of you. Already done that, bro. Much love to you, James McDaniel. James, please subscribe to the channel, man. I love hearing from your perspective. You know, we're back 11:30 tomorrow. We did start a little early tonight. We're gonna be on for just about 15 more minutes, so I'm gonna get as much questions in as possible, and we're gonna keep this thing going. I mean, or let it slip. Okay. I play it anyways. I enjoy your preaching. I ain't trying to preach, brother. Do I sound preachy? Because it's not about preaching for me, right? It's not about preaching. It's about expressing. And hopefully it's reciprocated or appreciated. I don't know. Whatever the right term is in that. Yes, peace and love, 100%. Okay, got you, bro. Who's your best rapper now? Anyway, Kendrick Lamar, I guess. Kendrick? No, actually, no. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm not gonna say, because I like Kendrick. I think Kendrick is a really good rapper. I don't think I really like too many people from. I'm from a different era. My favorite rapper of, I wouldn't even say this era, but Nipsey Hussle. He died in 2019, I believe. Yeah, something along those lines, right? So I haven't really had a favorite rapper in about 5 years, right? I do like Drake. I do like Kendrick Lamar. I do like their music, I should say. I don't know them as people. But Nipsey was just all around. It wasn't just the music for me with Nipsey. I grew up on Jay-Z. I love Jay-Z. His music, again, don't know him as a person. I grew up listening to like a lot of, well, since we're talking about rap, I'm not going to talk about any other genres of music that I love listening to and other artists. But yeah, I'd say Hove. I'd say Nipsey. I like Nas, right? I think Black Thought is just a lyrical genius. I think Eminem is one of the best as well. Tupac, Biggie, you know, those guys. Out of the new school, I want to say there are certain rappers that I did listen to while they were alive. I did listen to King Von. Although he does kind of fit into that box of people that we were just talking about, but the content that it did involve that, I tried to just weave around it because he was really he was a really good artist, and he didn't need to diss his dead ops in order to make good music. I think Lil Durk makes good music as well, and it's also a shame that he keeps name dropping dead people as well. It's kind of really hard to think, man. Where back in the day, it was easy. You know, 50 Cent made some great music. So many people. It was so many great artists back then. And not to say that they aren't now, but it's just some of the negativity kind of overshadows what it is that they're doing. Rusher, you are awesome. Big up, Eva. Yeah, I like the state of the world. I mean the state of the world. Okay, Hashim, Karim, I get what you're saying. Hey, I'm from India. Hey, Mark Henry. I'm 26 years old, says James McDaniel. Hello, Eva. Thanks for joining, says Asia. You guys, please subscribe to the channel. More content coming to you guys. I go live pretty much just about every day, right? Today, I actually went upstate today. I went to Bear Mountain in the night. I went to New City. I went to Stony Point. I went to a few places today, later on in the night, and I was listening to St. John, right? I was listening to some St. John songs. Oh, Pop Smoke was also another really good rapper. But I was listening to some St. John songs. I kind of started. I didn't appreciate his music as much years ago. It was this one song, Rose, that I really liked, but he does make some really good music. And this other guy named Leith or Eth or whatever it is, I think he's usually in the background, but he makes a lot of really good music as well. And do you enjoy basketball, brother? I do enjoy basketball. Yes, I could say I do enjoy basketball. I think basketball is a phenomenal sport. I love basketball. I love soccer. Those are pretty much the two sports that I really love. Big Arsenal fan, and I will be having some Arsenal content on this channel as well. Once this channel reaches, let's say, 1,500 subscribers, then I actually do have another channel, but I don't use it as much. It has probably like a little less than this, but at some point I am gonna be making some soccer content, especially this season. I'm gonna be cheering my team on, and whenever things are going great and whenever things are not going great. But I'm not as attached to it as I once was, because I'm not going to allow things outside of me to determine how I feel about life or how I feel about myself. So, yeah, I do love basketball. Congratulations to the U.S. U.S. men's basketball team. Big shout outs to Steph Curry and LeBron James and Devin Booker and Kevin Durant and Ant-Man and Anthony Davis and all the guys that were out there, rocking that American jersey. You expect Americans to dominate basketball no matter what era it is that we're in. Basketball is synonymous with the USA. It has to be, right? That's just what it is. Other countries may come close, but when it comes to basketball, yeah, USA is going to be the top dogs for a very long time. So, yeah. Yeah, he says USA just won gold, bro. Crazy. I don't think that was crazy at all. I think that's just written in the stars. Who else did you think was going to win? I didn't have anybody else even coming close, even though the U.S. may kind of, I don't want to say lucky, because they were more talented than whoever, but, they just have more quality than everyone else. They just have way more quality than everyone else. Steph Curry and LeBron James were outstanding. I mean, those are outstanding players, man. LeBron James is 41 years old. When LeBron James was playing, I didn't even have a beard when he started playing. Now I have gray patches in my beard, right? Isn't that something? Excellent player, man. Excellent player. He says France were host. And that kid Wembanyama is going to be an absolute juggernaut in the sport of basketball in the future. He's going to be a multiple time NBA championship winner. I do expect that. Yeah, he's just a freak of nature, man. He's a freak of nature. And if he does stay healthy, though, he got to stay healthy. Hey, bro, can you do a shout out to my friend? His name is you almost got me. I'm not saying that name, Donkey Kong. Yeah. Unless I'm going to say, all right, big shout out to Hugh. And his last name is Jazz. So big shout out to Hugh, whose last name is Jazz. Ha, joke's on you. You thought you was going to get me. You didn't. But that was funny, though. You could stay. Because, yeah. But you didn't get me. Which country is the next Olympics game? I do think that the next Olympics will be held in LA, if I'm not mistaken. Because I did briefly read something earlier today when they were asking LeBron if he's going to be around for the LA Olympics. So I do believe that the next Olympics will be in Los Angeles. So the next Olympics, I may stop by for a game or two, but I didn't watch anything this Olympics. The older I get when it comes to the Olympics, the less I watch. Although Usain Bolt was kind of like the last person in the Olympics, like individual person in the Olympics that I was really rooting for. But yeah, since we no longer have Usain Bolt, yeah, I don't know, man. He says, I like Wemby. So tall for real. Yeah, tall, but tall is just one aspect of it, right? So he's tall and he's skillful, right? He's tall, taller than everybody else. You can't block his shot. He's shooting over everybody else, right? When he gets in a post, he still has the moves. He's getting around you. He doesn't have the body yet, but he's getting around you. I don't think he even has to really jump the dunk, right? He gets like 2 inches off the ground and he dunks the ball. And I just feel like his all-around game for somebody that size is just it's gonna be a headache for people to really contain him. So, he definitely has, he's definitely been blessed with some gifts. So yeah, I do expect some really big things from Wembanyama in the future. LeBron James has been my favorite player for a very long time. I love Steph Curry as well. I think those two being in the same era it was just an absolute beautiful thing to see those two in the same era. Kevin Durant in that era. Yeah, man. Yeah. Those guys have given us some really, really good times. So, big up to those guys. Donkey Kong says rats. Nah, that was funny though. That was funny. I liked it. But you wasn't gonna get me on that one, man. Yeah. He says, "Why shout and out, bro? Let them be here." Yeah. So invite Donkey Kong. Invite them to the next stream. We're gonna be streaming tomorrow at 11:30 p.m. I might do a stream earlier in the day. If I do, I might do like a vlog because on the weekends I do like to go to different places upstate. Just to go experience new things. So tomorrow I may do a vlog of when I'm upstate. I might just find a random city in New York to just go to and just just enjoy the vibe there. So I may or may not do a vlog tomorrow, but for the most part in the night expect me to be back here giving you guys some more content consistently, even if I'm in the car, wherever it is I'm at. You can bet your bottom dollar. He says, yeah, Los Angeles. Is this an... Yeah, old rusty relic. This is not. I apologize. There are those channels that you could probably go look and find. But yeah, we don't have anything against those people in that community, but this is not a channel for that. I'm sorry. James McDaniel says, what do you think about NF music? And... by the way, I like NF music. I'm not entirely sure what that is. Please elaborate, sir. Trump 2024 says Andrew Sipple. MAGA. What did I tell you guys? Didn't I tell you guys that this is a reoccurring theme? How many times did I say Kamala Harris tonight? 0, right? Except that one that I just said it. But how many people have you seen come in here? Probably like 4 people have come in here just spreading that Trump 2024 sort of message. Yeah, Trump definitely has a lot of supporters. I don't know. That's it, big up to both candidates. Phenomenal still. Yeah, he's only 20. Oh, Rusty Relic. No, it's not. But you can stay if you enjoy the content. Absolutely, Asia. You're absolutely right. They were saying Carmelo Anthony might be the coach or something. Carmelo Anthony being the coach of the... No, I don't see that happening. I think Carmelo Anthony would need some actual NBA experience. I don't think they're going to just throw him off into the deep end to just coach the U.S. men's national team. Not saying that he's not capable of doing that, but I think we would actually like to really see what he can do in the NBA, in the best league in the world, before you just throw him off into the Olympics. I think Steve Kerr is a phenomenal coach. I think Steve Kerr is an NBA champion as a player and as a coach. I think Steve Kerr has he's qualified. He's more than qualified. Like, he knows how to do this. He knows how to find space. He knows how to play as a team, right? He knows how to get his team together to play as a team. He is probably the most decorated NBA person in terms of winning as a coach, winning as a player, winning the Olympics as a coach. But yeah, Steve Kerr definitely has an argument for being one of the best NBA coaches, along with, all of those other guys, Pat Riley and I forgot what the other guy's name was. I should not be. I'm looking at his face. But Jordan's coach, what was his name? I forgot his name. But yeah. James McDaniel says, my opinion, I like LeBron James. He's my favorite basketball player. Him and Michael Jordan and Kobe. That's a phenomenal list. Love all three of those guys. Says, I was missing James Harden, Kyrie Irving. They two of my favorite. Yeah, those guys are phenomenal as well. I'm going to read a few more of these comments and then we're going to call it a night, guys. I really appreciate everyone that has stuck around to this point and everyone that's been in, been involved and sending in questions. I love you guys. I love doing this. I will continue to do this. I appreciate everyone. I would enjoy playing basketball, just one game of basketball. Me and you, if you ever get the chance to play basketball together, I would enjoy that moment. Yeah, I would definitely enjoy that moment as well. But the most thing I'm scared of is being dunked on basketball, because I'm afraid if I try to do that, I'm going to get so embarrassed. If you don't try, how can you succeed at it? So you just got to practice, man. Anyway, guys, it's been another phenomenal stream. I really love and appreciate every single one of you. Please like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this community, and welcome to the new members. And remember, guys, always keep your energy and your vibration and your frequency elevated. Do not let it drop. If it does drop, pick it up, right? Get back into balance. Don't allow people to sway you left and right. You're in control of yourself. Don't forget that. And say something nice to yourself tonight before you go to your bed and tomorrow morning when you wake up, right? And believe everything that you say, right? And remember, we can only create the future by what we do in the present, and we can't go back to the past. Bro, take care. It was a pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you as well. Bro, what's your opinion on Eminem? One of the best. Brother, take care, brother Watt. Have a phenomenal night, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Thank you.